You're watching Channel 6, WSYX, Columbus. And now, Charlene Brown, Mike Clark, weather with Wendy Craver, and Clark Donley on sports. This is Channel 6 News Nightcast.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Our top story tonight, more worries for the hundreds of thousands of people left homeless by Hurricane Andrew. Infection and disease now of prime concern in South Florida. The areas ravaged by the storm are now targeted by mosquitoes and other insects. Repellent and medical supplies are among the planefuls of items being sent to that area. Health officials fear disease could arise from a lack of clean water and rotting food and garbage covered by swarms of mosquitoes. As victims try their best to get supplies from volunteers in a timely and organized fashion, tempers are simmering in the 90-degree temperatures. Congregations gathered in the hardest-hit parts of Florida and Louisiana today, hearing messages of hope from their pastors. Meantime, President Bush mobilized nearly 20,000 U.S. troops, joining the Florida National Guard in the Homestead area. The president is also allocating more than $120 million in emergency food stamps. A little girl from Kirkersville is taking help for the hurricane victims a very long way. Tanya Hutchins tells us tonight how a 10-year-old's school project has now turned into a community-wide effort, which includes her church.
Oh, heavy. What have you got there? Macaroni and cheese.
10-year-old Kristen Carpenter and her mom are surprised at all the support they've received. The Kirkersville girl wanted to help the hurricane victims and started her own campaign to gather food and supplies last week.
I didn't think that all these people would help me. Now that everybody saw me on TV, I'm really glad they're helping.
Kristen's fellow members at the Pataskala Church of Christ brought food and supplies to Sunday services.
They've got that reputation here being like that. Whenever there's a need, they respond very generously.
The pastor showed us an envelope from one girl who donated her babysitting money. Just an example of the community spirit here.
When you see people who are so much less fortunate than you are and they're having so much trouble just getting a bite of something to eat, you know, you want to help where you can.
This whole project is turning out a lot bigger than the Carpenters first expected, but they still need things like diapers and cleaning supplies. So collections will continue here at the church and at Kirkersville Elementary School throughout the week.
If we get enough, we're even talking of renting a big U-Haul and taking it down ourselves. That way it'll get down there quicker. It sends chills down my back every time I think about it, you know, just to think about going home one day and having literally nothing.
Now the Carpenters and Pataskala Church of Christ hope other churches and businesses will get involved. They don't care where the help comes from, as long as it gets to the victims. In Pataskala, Tanya Hutchins, WSYX, Channel 6 News Nightcast.
And the relief effort continues in Delaware County, where churchgoers helped collect supplies that will be sent to the hurricane victims. Volunteers dropped off food and clothing to the Powell Center today and spent the day sorting out all the items. The response was good, we are told, because many people brought along donations to their church services. Volunteers will keep the drive going. The center is located on Powell Road, and it will be accepting donations tomorrow and Tuesday from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. There are so many calls for help coming from hurricane victims in Florida and Louisiana that a federal office in Texas cannot handle all those calls. So many of them are now being sent to Columbus. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, opened up a satellite teller registration center. They say Columbus is a perfect site because of the recent Masseyville floods. Already had emergency efforts up and running here.
What we'll be doing here is taking applications over the telephone from the disaster victims in those two states. And from that, we'll do verification on damage and provide disaster assistance in the way of grant assistance or loans to those people to help them rebuild from the hurricane.
Federal workers set up 150 phone lines on the west side in just 72 hours. At 6 o'clock, we told you that FEMA was looking for help answering all those phones, and that sparked another wave of phone calls from people wanting to help out. Well, tonight, workers at FEMA tell us that they do have enough people now to handle the phones. Turning to other news tonight, last week, Billy Inman refused to resign as manager of the Ohio State Fair. So the commissioners fired him. Now the fair's deputy director will get that same offer. The Ohio Equal Opportunity Center says Oscar Green, the deputy director of the Ohio State Fair, should be fired or suspended because there's reason to believe that he sexually harassed two female employees who filed complaints against him during the fair. Mark List, who is replacing Billy Inman as fair manager, says that he will talk with Green or his attorney tomorrow and give Green an opportunity to resign. About 150 people rallied at Llewellyn Farmers Park on Tuttle Road today against developer Pete Edwards' proposed mall at Tuttle Crossing. Edwards says he was told to stay away today, even though he offered to be available for questions. The developer says the mall would create 4,000 jobs and bring $2.5 million tax dollars into the Columbus school system. But protesters say the mall would only bring more traffic to an area full of kids. So they want Edwards to put his mall somewhere else.
He can tell us whatever he wants. He can show us whatever pictures he wants. But until it's in the written text, he is not legally bound. So we want people to come out and see what is in the text.
The Civic Association brought the text from Edwards' proposed rezoning plans for residents to read for themselves. But they say the plan would put busy commercial property right next to their single-family homes there. Well, Wendy Craver is in for a first check at our tomorrow's weather.
And it's going to be very, very nice and cool tonight. If you don't have any allergy problems, you can open up the windows, turn off the AC. Clear skies overnight with a low of 55 degrees. 50s and 60s as you head to work tomorrow morning and under partly cloudy skies. And it should be a partly cloudy afternoon with a high temperature of only 75 degrees.
Wow.
So a little bit of autumn tomorrow.
We thank you very much. We'll see
Complete
you in a bit.
forecast in a moment.
Well, coming up next on Channel 6 News Nightcast, a bloody 10-day standoff finally ends in Idaho. Plus, they're accused of attacking Asian families here in Columbus. Police now need your help to find them.
Families are big business. So everybody says theirs is a family car. All right, tell me it has 90 cubic feet of passenger space like a Subaru Legacy. Enough room for 5 so you're close but not touching me close. Tell me it has a quiet, horizontally opposed engine like the Legacy. There's enough noise already with a family. Tell me it offers all-wheel drive and anti-lock brakes like a Legacy. A family car is for my family, not some other family I don't care so much about. Tell me I have the money. I want to know what to drive.
Save up to $2,100 at your local Subaru dealer today.
Save at least 50% and more on everything in this television spot at Schottenstein. Like famous Baker floor and table lamps, not $60 to $100, only $29.99 and $39.99. Luxurious terry and velour bath towel ensembles from Cannon Royal Family, not $3 to $8, only 99 cents to $2.99. And famous Maker corrugated storage accessories and garment bags, not $2 to $12, only 99 cents to $4.99. Don't miss the gigantic 50% off sale at all Schottenstein's Value City department stores.
Pure milk, fresh milk, smooth and white, creamy, cool, fresh milk, sweet and dry, blended by Nana,
Experience a creamy blended yogurt as only Dannon can do it. Fat-free, no artificial anything, just pure Dannon. Dannon blended yogurt.
Tax people call it a year April 15th. School kids call it a year around June 1st. Everyone else calls it a year December 31st. But your Better Buick dealers are calling it a year right now. Get model year-end clearance savings, plus 3.9% GMAC financing for a full 48 months on Buick, the American car line known for trouble-free driving. So before you call it a day, hurry to your Better Buick dealers, call it a year clearance before they call it over.
A bloody 10-day standoff between an armed fugitive and FBI agents ended today when the gunman finally gave up. Randy Weaver, a white supremacist wanted on federal weapons charges, surrendered to authorities today. 9 days ago, Weaver locked himself, his family, and a friend in a mountaintop cabin in Idaho. Last week, Weaver's wife and son were killed in a shootout with agents. A federal marshal also died in that gunfire. The 44-year-old Weaver has been charged with the marshal's murder. Weaver said he gave up because his friend was badly wounded in that shootout and he needed medical attention. Until 3 days ago, our CrimeStoppers case of the week was to have been a series of 3 robberies in the Columbus Asian community. But on Thursday, those crimes turned to murder. A man was shot and killed during a 4th robbery on Thursday, and police arrested 2 teenagers in the case. But they're still looking for 3 more suspects. John Greiner reports tonight that you could receive a $4,000 reward if you can help police identify the rest of the gang.
They're called home invasions. In the middle of the night, gangs of young Asian men break into homes of Asian Americans, terrorize the families, and steal cash and valuables. There have been 4 such break-ins in Columbus the last month. During the 4th, last Thursday, the thieves shot and killed 56-year-old Jack Kulong. The homes that were hit belong to Asian American businessmen who own grocery stores or restaurants and were known to keep large amounts of money in their homes because they distrust financial institutions. And detectives say they have another inherent prejudice that may work to the advantage of the thieves. Police often have trouble getting information from victims or witnesses.
Sometimes it's a feedback from their culture where they don't trust the government or the police. They feel like they're military or can't be trusted.
You can call the CrimeStoppers hotline without giving your name and still be eligible to collect a reward.
Any information that we could get, we would appreciate it. We would like some phone calls, and we'd keep our names and information confidential.
Police arrested 2 members of the Asian gang. They're looking for at least 3 more. The Chinese American Association of Central Ohio is offering an additional $3,000 reward for a total of $4,000 if you can help find the killers. If you have any information, call the CrimeStoppers hotline at 645-TIPS. That's 645-8477. John Greiner, WSYX, Channel 6 News, CrimeStoppers.
And John reports that a 3rd member of the Asian gang has been identified. He is known as Yan Rong Mei, a 19-year-old previously arrested in Cleveland. To claim the full $4,000 reward for this case, you must call CrimeStoppers by September the 9th. Democratic candidate Bill Clinton has joined the race for president on the airwaves. Clinton has released his first television ad, which will begin airing tomorrow here in Ohio and in other key states. Now, it boasts of Clinton's performance concerning jobs and the economy during his years as governor of Arkansas, and it tries to counter Republican attacks on Mr. Clinton's record. Wendy Craver has the forecast to start off your work week when we come back. Plus, Jerry's kids get a big boost today, thanks to the hogs.
I'm looking at it. What a great year for Bonneville. America's best sedan, according to Motor Week. A Consumer's Digest Best Buy. Kiplinger's named it best in its class and best new car. The 92 Bonneville. It's going to be a tough act to follow.
Now get 3.9% GMAC financing on Pontiac Bonneville. Save almost $3,000 in finance charges alone. Bonneville blows out. Hurry for best selection. See Haydacy, Dave Gill, or Dennis Pontiac.
Buy one now? Absolutely.
Dear Tuffy, on a trip to the shopping mall, we suddenly heard a loud grinding noise under our car. I stopped at the service place there to have it checked out. Well, they told me the entire brake system needed replacement at a very high price. I told my wife, we're going to Tuffy. The Tuffy mechanic said all I needed were new pads and rotors. The price, less than half. In 1 hour, I had my car back, working great, and a lifetime warranty. Keep up the good work, Tuffy. Daniel Williams.
At some fast food restaurants, the burgers hang around in the red light district until you drop in. Not at Rally's. Every Rally burger is made to order fresh for you in less than a minute. Rally's has it fresh. Rally's has it fast.
Thank you for coming to Rally.
Rally's has it right.
Let's go.
To avoid salesmen, some people shop after car dealers are closed.
Did you hear that?
Or so they thought.
That's my sale. Customers on the line. Customers on the line.
At Reichert Ford, pick up a just looking button. When you're ready for help, one of our friendly salespeople will put the fun back into shopping for a car. There are car dealers.
And there's Reichert Ford. We're dealers. Lots of people putting the pedal to the metal in Columbus this Sunday for a good cause. Some grown-up kids took a ride back to their childhood days today, cramming into mini race cars for the Mini-Grand Prix at the Dublin Metro Center. 22 men and women from various Central Ohio companies took part in the 40-lap competition. All the monies raised in the mini race will provide some big help benefiting the Arthritis Foundation. Meanwhile, these hogs took to the streets around Columbus today, to help out Jerry's Kids. The 9th annual MDA ride for the Columbus Harley-Davidson Club raised more than $23,000 for this year's Muscular Dystrophy Telethon. Channel 6 will bring to you the Jerry Lewis MDA Labor Day Telethon 1 week from tonight.
$23,000.
23 grand. I kind of took a back on that.
They do a great job, don't
Yeah.
they? Did a great job on the weather, except for maybe 5 minutes at the zoo today.
That's right.
For you.
But we thank you nonetheless.
Okay. We did have just some brief showers and thunderstorms come through, and some hail up around New Albany, and some severe weather up around Delaware County and Union County. But
better news tomorrow.
It was brief and good news tomorrow. That's right. Let's take a look at temperatures around the state at the hour in the 60s and 70s. Still a little bit warmer down along the Ohio River at 76 in Portsmouth, 71 in Marietta, again 60s pretty much elsewhere. 60s and 70s around central Ohio, as you can see. Warmest spot down in Chillicothe at 74 degrees. And our coolest spots, 66 in Marion and Marysville at the hour. On our satellite picture, we're seeing clear skies in the northern part of the state and the cloud cover in the southern part of Ohio. So it's acting as a blanket, keeping the southern part of Ohio a little bit warmer at this time. We have a weak cold front that passed through the Buckeye State. We had a thin line of showers and thunderstorms move through central Ohio today. But high pressure will build in, and we'll actually see a little bit of sunshine and some clouds tomorrow. That rain right now along the Ohio-West Virginia border, extending into upstate New York, but general fair weather elsewhere throughout our region. We'll see overnight lows tonight in the 50s, so a cool night ahead. And we have a cool day tomorrow with daytime highs only in the 70s across the Buckeye State. So well below normal for this time of year. Check current readings out at Port Columbus. We're at 68 degrees, but we'll drop into the mid-50s tonight, so a cool night ahead. Relative humidity 76%. Barometer is rising. Winds are out of the west at 7 miles per hour. High today 78, low is 58. A little bit below normal for this time of year. We did have a trace of rainfall today, officially at Port Columbus. Overnight tonight, partly cloudy skies with a low temperature of 55 degrees. And then tomorrow we'll call for partly cloudy skies, high of 75. Sunshine on Tuesday, high of 76. Fair weather all the way through Wednesday, high of 79. And then it looks like we're back to a threat of showers and thunderstorms Thursday and Friday with over daytime highs 78, 80 degrees, overnight lows right around 60. A little bit of autumn.
This is summer, though.
It's still summer.
All right, just checking.
But autumn tomorrow.
Okay. Thanks, Wendy. And coming up next in sports, the Reds look to make up ground on the Atlanta Braves. Clark Donley will show us a day in the life of a ball player stuck in the minor leagues.
First, the engineers did their job on the 1992 Oldsmobile Achievers. Cutlass Supreme. And 88s. Then the accountants went to work. So see your participating Central Ohio Olds dealer today.
A Great Expectations moment from Franklin University.
Afro-Americans have complained for years that the real story of black history isn't being taken seriously in school systems. So the National Afro-American Museum in Wilberforce teamed up with the Junior League of Columbus and the Ohio Historical Society to develop this curriculum guide to black history for elementary and high schools. It's being offered to schools all over the country. It's a program that will fulfill a lot of great expectations.
Franklin professors don't just read all the textbooks. They bring their practical knowledge into the classroom. And I think that's very valuable because they have worked in the real world. And that's something that I think distinguishes Franklin from other colleges.
Don't kid yourself. Business is tough, and you need every advantage. The fact that Bank One consistently hires Franklin University graduates says a lot for the quality of the degree. We find Franklin graduates are well prepared for the real world.
We got the winds of change upon us in this part of the USA.
If you're looking for one hot summer burger, check out the sporty new Mercury Topaz GS 2-door. Now lease for just $199 a month for 24 months. Just $199 a month gets you all of these great features. It's one hot summer value you won't want to miss.
At Lincoln Mercury, it's the very best time.
The Mercury Topaz at your Lincoln Mercury dealer today.
Most dog owners take a lot of pride in teaching their pet a new trick. That's especially true for the masters of these Newfoundlands. According to legend, Newfoundlands were used on French fishing boats to haul in nets and rescue overboard sailors. That might be why these dogs were able to perform so well at this water rescue competition in St. Louis today, carrying life preservers and jumping off boats to save would-be drowning victims. The dogs come from all over the country. They took part in today's competition. You know, those great swimmers, but I've never really seen a male dive in those competitions, you know?
No?
Big belly flop.
They're the dogs. What do you expect? We have a unit like that in Ohio.
That's
that
right.
operates a dog search unit. And they're very good at finding people who are underwater.
Big
Tomorrow's final of the 92nd U.S. Amateur Championship at Muirfield as ice slowly sink under the water. At Muirfield, it's University of Texas junior Justin Leonard against Tom Shearer, who has trailed his opponents only once in 49 holes of match play. The USGA rules, Mike, no pets on the course, please. This is Leonard at the 17th with the shot of the week from 138 yards out with an 8-iron for eagle, and he's got it. He goes one up on his opponent, Alan Doyle. They are even though when he gets to 13, birdie with the Leonard with the birdie putt. He's one up again, birdie 16 and 17 then. He beats Doyle 2-1. Move on to tomorrow's final. He'll take on Tom Shearer, who had a much easier time with his opponent, Kelly Mitchell. Here's Shearer's approach at number 6. This is very close. He went 3 up at that point. Mitchum, in the meantime, having some serious trouble. He edited my video. Shearer wins 3-2. Shearer and Justin Leonard will be in the 36-hole final at Muirfield tomorrow. The Reds with an opportunity to close the gap between themselves and Atlanta to 4 games tonight. The Braves lost earlier in Philadelphia. For the Reds and Mets, it was turned back to clock night to 1962 at Shea Stadium. The Mets take a 1-0 lead into the 4th. Glenn Bragg's looking good in those Kuzinski squeeze, huh? Lining the double down the third base line, scoring Reggie Sanders and Barry Larkin, and it's 2-1 Reds. Then in the 6th, Braggs again with the bloop. Darryl Boston, I got it. Larkin will score again. The Reds are up 3-1. Then Tim Belcher comes in and retires 23 straight New York Mets batters. He is replaced in the 9th by Rob Dibble, Bonilla. It's gone. Home run, a 3-run shot to right center field, and that gave the Mets the 4-3 win. The Reds lose 4 straight to New York. They are now 5 games back in the National League West. The Braves, meanwhile, are winning and dealing. They beat Philadelphia and got Jeff Reardon from the Red Sox for 2 players to be named later. Lee Smith won the Child, tying a record for saves in 1 month. The Expos won, so did the Pirates, who lead the East by 3.5 now, and the Cubs beat San Francisco 3-1. The Tribe in Oakland this afternoon. First inning, Carlos Martinez at the plate, and he turns on it. A solo home run to left field. The Tribe led this one 2-0 after 1, but it was tied in the 2nd for Walt Weiss. Grounding one down the third base line. Carney Lansford and Terry Steinbach will score. The A's are up 4-2. They led it 7-2 after 5. And in the 6th, Martinez again with his 2nd solo home run of the game. It looks like the Tribe is starting to come back. Paul Sorrento tracking down the foul ball and taking a seat for his efforts. Sorrento caught the foul ball. The Indians didn't catch the A's. 7-5 the final. Indians have lost 4 in a row and 6 out of their last 7. The Twins won only the 5th time in 15 games. The Red Sox 4-2 over the Angels in 10. The Blue Jays earned a split of their 4-game series in Milwaukee. Kansas City beat Detroit. The Orioles stay a game and a half behind the Jays in the AL East. Rangers over the White Sox tonight, and the Clippers set a new club record for wins on the road in a single season, hitting over 49 tonight. A couple of notes from the NFL. The Browns have signed running back Eric Metcalf to a 2-year contract. He signed the deal and practiced with the team today. And the Bengals' top draft pick arrived in Cincinnati today to sign a record contract worth a reported $1.75 million a year over 4 years. That would make backup quarterback David Klingler the 2nd highest paid player on the team next to starting quarterback Boomer Esiason. One of the top recruits in Ohio State's highly touted freshman class has been living up to his advanced reviews. Warren's Corey Stringer at 6'6", 310 pounds. Ohio's Division I lineman of the year last year. The coaches say Stringer has been so impressive in practice, he is threatening to bump Jason Winrow from his starting right offensive tackle spot.
I don't think there's anything that motivates an athlete more than competition. And Corey Stringer's come in here right at the very beginning and been very competitive in terms of being a player at that right tackle position. And I think Jason Winrow realizes that and he's reacting to it.
You know, I've been doing a lot of things that they want me to do the way they want me to do it. But, you know, in turn, I've been making a lot of mistakes also. But I feel they have a lot of confidence in me. You know, when someone puts a lot of confidence in you, you have to do everything, you know, to keep that confidence.
Miami still #1 in the AP college football poll, followed by Washington and Notre Dame, Florida State and Michigan in the top 5. Florida's number 6. Texas A&M, the only top 10 team with a record of any kind, is 7th. Penn State is 8th, followed by Alabama and Syracuse. The Buckeyes move up from 19th to 17th, and Idaho, upset by North Carolina State last night in the Kickoff Classic, dropped from 16th to 23rd. Craig Stadler won the World Series of Golf at the Firestone Country Club in Akron today. He finished one shot ahead of Corey Pavin. The Indy cars were racing on the streets of Vancouver, British Columbia. Earlier on, Al Unser Jr. bumps Emerson Fittipaldi, and Al gets the worst of it, but he got back in the race later on. No same thing happened to Bobby Rahal as he bumped Stephen Johansson. On lap 30, Rahal was running second. He cannot get back in the race. Michael Andretti went on to win this race for the second consecutive year. Little Al was second, Johansson third, Scott Pruitt finishing fourth in one of life's most embarrassing moments. Long drive off the bat of Portland's Luis Quinones. Tacoma's Mike Kingery going back for the wall. It looks like, hey, it's got up. I just hate when this happens. He's stuck. To compound the error, Kingery sees that ball laying there. Actually, it had been left back there from batting practice. He thinks it's the game ball. He throws it in. Then this isn't going to work. They won't allow that.
You're the umpire. What do you do?
They won't allow it. It's a home run. And that's the same wall that guy ran through in Portland 2 years ago. You've seen that video, I'm sure.
Yes, we did. Wow. Thanks, Clark. Up next, Wendy Craver has one last look at our weather.
Plus, Obetz bids farewell to its weekend
full of zucchini.
In the real world, there can be only one single best time to buy a new car.
The real clearance, and you're looking at it. It's last call for the 92 Grand Voyagers at your
Chrysler Plymouth dealer. Get real advantages like up
to $1,600 in savings on popular family options. The real clearance simply means the best deals of the year.
You want real advantages for the real world? You're looking at it.
The real model year-end clearance, now at your Chrysler Plymouth dealers.
Dispatch. Delivered fresh daily. Call and order yours.
Uncle Tim's remodeling lesson number 1. Go to Builder Square. And that's where your folks do and everything to fix up the bathroom. Doing yourself is fun, huh?
Yep.
Why don't you go downstairs, ask your mom for some lemonade? Someday I'll tell them about lesson number 2. Builder Square also does reformation.
Boy, that was fast.
Yep.
Builder Square, the warehouse, everything for your house, even installation.
Now during Chevy Rock Solid Value Days, get incredibly low 2.9% financing on Chevy CK pickup. Ranked the best full-size pickup in J.D. Power & Associates initial quality study. 2.9% financing means saving nearly $3,000 in finance charges on a new Chevy CK pickup. So hurry into Rock Solid Value Days. At 2.9%, it pays to get Chevy trucks.
At trucks you can depend on, the trucks that last.
Wendy Craver is now with the last word on autumn forecast.
That's right. It's going to be a nice day tomorrow and a nice night tonight. Partly cloudy skies, low of 55. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s as you head to work tomorrow morning. Partly cloudy through much of the day with a high of only 75. Enjoy your day.
Okay, we will. Thanks, Wendy.
And finally tonight, there's a bit of sadness in Obetz tonight. This year,
Zucchini Fest is now over. It wrapped up today with visitors getting to see some zucchini in all shapes and sizes. Also, some downright wild uses for the squash. You can have your zucchini, of course, deep fried or sample a zucchini hamburger. All the tasty applications for the vegetable had the people
dancing for joy today. You know, photographer
Jared Smith brought back some zucchini donuts today to show you, but someone put them on my desk and didn't tell me about it, and they're gone. So what we have left is some zucchini fudge. So that's for you, Wendy.
Thank you.
Clark Donley, this is for you.
It's okay for my complexion.
And we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I want a car. I want a car with power. Tell me it has 230 horsepower like the Subaru SVX. Tell me it'll produce 228 pound-feet of torque. I don't know what that is, but I like it. Tell me it has all-wheel drive traction like the SVX. Don't tell me about wood paneling, about winning the respect of my neighbors. They're my neighbors and not my heroes. Tell me it's won a trillion awards like the SVX. Tell me. I have the money. I want to know what to drive.
Test drive a Subaru SVX at your Columbus Subaru dealer today.
In the Southwest, a devil-worshipping team kills to honor Satan. In the Northeast, daredevils catch rattlesnakes by hand for fun. In the Midwest, a miracle baby cheats death twice. These are the stories of a current affair. Stories of triumph, of tragedy, of the human condition. From city to city, from town to town, when it matters to you, it happens on A Current Affair.
A Current Affair starts August 31st on Channel 6. For Sonny and Cher, the beef doesn't go on, but the feud sure does. Plus, all the glamour at the Emmys on the next Entertainment Tonight. Monday at 7:30 on Channel 6.
In this part of the USA.
Catch the Tracer Triple Play at your Lincoln Mercury dealers. Now, the 93 Mercury Tracer and Tracer Wagon features 1,
Here in automatic at no extra charge.
2, special low payment of $199 per month. 3, we pay your first month's payment and security deposit. That's the Tracer Triple Play, a great way to get through summer. Catch the Tracer Triple Play at your Lincoln Mercury dealer now.
Good morning, Columbus. The hour you need to plan your day.